This is Sedric Drake, host of the Bullshit Hour. You are now listening to the Break It Down Show.
And now, the Break It Down Show with Jon and Pete.
Yes, you are. And right here, gracing Bayview Studios with Pete and myself.
Doing it.
That's right.
Doing
That's
it well.
The silky smooth Sedric Drake.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Sed?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
You know, we're capturing this conversation sort of midstream. And Pete was just about to ask about...
Here's my question. I was going to say, is there any legitimate way a white dude can pull off doing like a ridiculous blackface character? Is there any way that can happen?
That's what we're going to lead off with.
Yeah, well, I was going to do it before we started, but, you know, since we're doing it.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
Eddie Murphy can go the other way and it's fine.
But no, I mean, I actually think you can. I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
He, like, literally, I thought he was black.
He was
like,
a dude playing a dude playing a dude.
And he didn't offend me at all. Like,
Right.
no black person was offended by Robert Downey Jr. playing a black man because he did it so well. It was very well done. He actually did it like as an actor would, because he basically was playing a parody of himself. So like he plays people like that. So he did it perfectly. So yeah, it can be done tastefully to the point where it's not offensive, but there's some people that are just going to be offensive if they do it. Like if Jim Carrey tried to play a black man, like I would be like, no, dude,
You can't do that.
You can't do that. Interesting. There's some people that just can't.
It is not a two-way street though, and then nobody can do what you would call, I guess, what yellow face or whatever. Like you can't really go the other direction.
I mean, Eddie Murphy did it. I mean, Eddie Murphy kind of did it in Norbit. He played a Chinese man.
He did?
Yeah, he played a Chinaman.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
That's what his attempt was.
It was bad.
It was terrible.
Norbit was bad. That whole movie was bad.
Yeah. That was terrible.
It was better than some of the movies he's had, though. It was better than
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Holy shit. That was terrible.
Evil is necessary.
I don't remember what it was, but Eddie Murphy was defending his appearance in Vampire in Brooklyn by telling the story that somebody said, and you got 2 thumbs down from Siskel and Ebert. And he said, I made $10 million in that movie.
He did.
Gene Siskel stick his thumb up my ass for $10 million.
Hey, he had a point. He had a good point.
That's true.
Can you name another movie with Zake Smokai in it?
Zake
Wow.
Smokai.
Oh, that's deep in there.
Who is Zake Smokai?
He's always the bad guy. He was the bad witch doctor guy in Serpent and the Rainbow.
Oh yeah. He was in a movie.
Serpent and the Rainbow.
No, he was in a movie. He was in a movie.
Major
He
leagues
was
up
like
here.
in this black independent film.
No shit. Zake Smokai was in a small film with no budget. Oh yeah.
It was about a monster.
Did he have a beard?
Yes, he did. And he still had the
Because they
accent.
didn't have a razor budget.
And he still had that accent. I didn't know his name, but I know exactly who
No, that's just his voice.
Yes,
Yeah,
was
that's his voice. Yeah,
So he was in this movie about
he's like the Jamaican Booth Powers or wherever he's from, or Powers Booth or whatever that
he
guy's
was in
name
this
is.
movie about like this evil, seductress monster woman.
Nice.
And he was like telling them how to kill her and stuff like that. Like he's in a whole bunch of those movies. Like he's always like a voodoo
scary
guy.
dude, yes.
He is. He's
Yes.
very mysterious.
Right, I guess we should say was. Yeah,
He's passed away.
Right.
But if you wanted to get a crazy witch doctor scare the shit out of you
perfect.
when you see him,
He's perfect.
yeah.
You know what? With all due respect for the dearly departed, I hope they buried him like that. I hope they dressed him up like that so that, in the afterlife,
up. He's like,
he could
"Fuck
show
yeah!"
up in the afterlife like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a big ass scar on his face in the movie. He was the
Yeah.
only person I actually liked in that movie in Vampire Brooklyn, because he was very like he's kind of like Vincent Price. Like you
Right.
know what you're gonna get. From
Yeah.
him. Like I didn't know his name, but that's man. Now you tell him I know what movies he's in now.
I don't remember his name anymore, but there's like a Chinese version of that guy. Like he was in Die Hard. He was the guy that grabs the candy bar, and he would play Genghis Khan. Whenever Genghis Khan had to be in a movie like in Bill and Ted's, there was that guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I used to know his name. I can't remember.
Was
He
he
was
in
like
Golden
the
Child?
he was like the young Mako.
Yes.
Oh, of course he was in Golden Child. I don't know that for sure, but come on.
Of course, yeah. But
You know,
that's
it's
it.
like
was. I think he
when
was.
you need a little
and
person
he kind
in
of
a
had a
movie.
squinty eyes and stuff. Like
Like
he
he
would.
was, yeah.
That was him. He
The
was in
Asian
Golden
guy.
Child.
He was
Yeah.
kind of had squinty eyes.
Yeah.
He could kick real high.
No, but he would like squint his.
Yeah.
Okay, they all have squinty eyes, but
Yeah, man. I watched this documentary the other day. I watched a lot of documentaries.
Me too.
I watched a documentary the other day called The Real Mr. Miyagi. You ever seen that?
I was actually intrigued and almost saw that today. I almost watched it today.
You should watch it.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. Anyway.
I want to know this. Like, when you die and you go to heaven, like, do you show up like with what you get buried in, or whatever you wear when you die?
I hope so.
Or maybe
Because I have my outfit picked out.
Well, you
or
should
maybe
wear it
you
every
get-
day if it's when you die, though.
I know. It's
or maybe you get
that's your outfit
or maybe
for
you
eternity.
come back as the essence of what you really were as a person.
I'm
You
not
think
trying to
so?
figure it out for real. I'm trying to tell some jokes.
Like, no, said get deep. Look at there's one of the
That's
three of
part
us
of
is
the
a
joke,
comedian.
man. That's part of the joke, man.
All right, we'll get
Oh,
there.
okay. He was
the
setting it
essence
up.
of him, like he could, like you know what I'm saying?
Said will go a long way for a joke.
Yeah, I was getting converted to
I
existentialism.
go deep.
Yes.
I do deep sea diving.
I
jokes.
appreciate that, man. When you have to go a long way for a joke, and even if you just barely land it, then it's like, okay, you know
Yeah.
what? Oh yes,
There he
Al
is.
Leong. Dude,
That's
is
your guy.
Yes.
You put any kind of weapon that's not like a gun in his hand, you're like, you're a Mongol.
The
Didn't he have a
more
twin-
the more
Didn't he have a
Gargoyle
twin brother?
it is.
He has a twin brother.
Does he?
Yeah, he has a twin brother,
Nice.
and they both were in movies together. Yeah,
That was. I don't think Sid realizes that CGI was invented.
maybe you're right. Maybe it was just
There's
him.
only one Lindsay Lohan, not two.
I know that.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad there's only one.
He was in Big Trouble in Little China.
He was.
Of course.
Great movie.
He's
Okay.
Great movie,
yeah,
man.
He's that guy.
He is that
Classic.
dude. He is that.
He was
dude.
he was in a version of Godzilla because, come on.
Yeah, because come on. The thing I love about Godzilla is I grew up in Vallejo, and so did Raymond Burr.
Yeah,
Raymond
that's
Burr.
true.
He was in. So what they did was they made Godzilla was a standalone movie in Japan, and they said we need to sell this in the United States. What should we do? Oh, I know. We get Raymond Burr. First, we get Raymond Burr, and then we cut in scene with Raymond Burr. And so the movie was the movie, but all they did was say, okay, when this happens, we'll cut to the interior, and the interior will have Raymond Burr smoking a cigarette with a skinny tie, and he'll say some shit. And then you cut back outside, and the Japanese people will point up and go, Gojira, call the authorities. And they cut back to Raymond Burr, and he says some more profound shit.
Right.
I don't think he broke a sweat.
No, he didn't.
No, that's not his job.
He's Raymond Burr, man.
That's right.
That's why he's like, I'm gonna be in your little silly, detective lawyer series, but I'm not getting up. You're gonna put me in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
You're not paying me enough.
That's why it wasn't the character's in a wheelchair. No.
No.
That character was able-bodied, and
Yeah.
he would scamper from one end of the
Yep.
courtroom to the other, and he was like,
What I loved about his character, because I used to watch that show with my grandmother, and he was just so cool all the time. He didn't get too high. He didn't get too low. He was he was always cool,
right in the middle.
just right in the middle.
And he didn't get up
That's
from-
why you could tell he was from Vallejo, because
Uh-huh.
he was just
He
he was
didn't
just he was just cool. He just
His legal philosophy was, I wish a motherfucker would.
Yes. And if Raymond Burr is in a good movie like that, his Chinese counterpart is going to be Victor Wong, who was also in Big Trouble in Little China,
That's right.
and he was in Sacramento all the time. And he didn't even bother opening two eyes when he talked. He just shut one and be like, because that was his.
yeah.
That was his shtick.
Yeah.
He was the one-eyed Asian
Uh-huh,
dude. He was like,
yes.
hey, get the Asian dude. Which one? The one with the mustache and the beard that's long.
What does
Oh,
Victor Wong look like?
Oh, I'll pull him up for you.
I'll
He's
pull
dead,
him up
but,
for him.
I want to get Al Long for the show.
That would be terrific.
Also a stuntman.
And
Oh,
he's
really?
5'11".
Yeah.
That's the tallest
that's a
Asian
tall
person.
Asian.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Here
his
comes
filmography is chef, thug, bodyguard, resistance member. Those are his roles.
Not like
Resistance
not
member
like
3.
florist or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
florist,
Yeah, a person with a name. No.
pharmacy technician.
Here's Egg Shen right
If
here.
you actually gave him a name, that dude. Yeah, that's Victor
See, look,
Wong.
see that eye-
That's
that
the
eye's-
one. That's the one. That's the
Yeah.
picture.
That's Victor.
Dude,
Victor Wong.
that's who I was talking about. He was in Golden Child. He was
Uh-huh.
he was the dude that was giving Eddie Murphy a lot of bullshit when he went the night. I want the night.
I want the night. Please.
Please.
What was
That was
the
hilarious.
timing?
Damn
of-
it, Eddie Murphy was funny.
Did he miss a movie because he had to do Golden Child? Like he got roped into it? What was the deal with that, with Golden Child? Do you remember?
I don't know. I enjoyed Golden Child.
Everybody hated that movie, but I thought it was.
I enjoyed it.
It was
a
fun.
lot.
It was funny to me.
Yeah.
There was like something he
My
missed
brother
out on,
Num
though.
said.
My dear brother Doomsday.
Man, that is funny.
That was funny.
So what are you up to, Sad? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Getting the podcast actually is coming together. I'm trying to launch it by next week, maybe.
Okay.
Nice.
So
What you waiting on?
I just need to get. No, I'm not waiting on anything. I got
You
my
getting
first
all your
episode.
like social media presences and all that together.
Man. I'm gonna do some live stuff on Facebook and
Yeah.
go around and hit Instagram, hit all that stuff, and do some live stuff. So I just took we took a video in the car. I'm gonna try to use to just show how stupid I am, and use it for promotion.
Nice.
So no, everything's coming along. It's just, it's funny. You never realize how much of a process this is. Just trying to get it up.
Yeah.
Like it's more of a process than I
Get
thought it
it
would
up.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we figure between pre-production and post-production, there's 8 hours and an hour up. And
It
just-
took me 2 hours to loop everything and make sure everything was tight, and I was like, I had to I mean,
So
I
nasty.
only did it for 30 minutes. Too. I only did a 30-minute opener
it takes
intro.
time. Yeah, wait till the pre-production really gets
Oh, man.
complicated because it's just there's so much to worry
Wait till you
about.
get a motherfucker on your show who stutters.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till that happens.
Because what happens? Here's what happens.
I'm not looking forward to that. The way you said that to me, your tone of your voice scared me for a second.
No,
Yeah, all
Yeah.
three of you start stuttering. That's what really.
that's what happens.
Man.
Hey,
man.
hey,
man.
hey,
Listen, check it out. Listen.
Oh.
Listen.
Yeah.
Check it
Oh.
out. Listen. No.
man.
Listen.
No.
Kenny's good for no, and then change gears on you.
Yep.
Like, wait, we weren't talking about that, Kenny.
Yeah.
Kenny's awesome.
You will undoubtedly meet my cousin Kenny because he will hire
He'll
you.
put
He
you
will
on the
promote a show and he will hire you and he'll put you in it.
And he'll put himself in the show.
Yeah, and he'll put himself in the show.
Kenny sounds like an interesting character.
I would like
Oh,
Kenny
he's
to
cool.
put me in the show, and I'm going to
Yep.
do Kenny's act.
That would be hilarious.
What is Kenny's act?
It's. I mean, he's got an act. It's just he does it the same theater all the time. So I think.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't want to spoil his act on this show. But there.
Yeah, and
there
he gives it little subtle variations
Yeah.
each time. So,
So it's not the same thing every time.
It's the
is
same.
it?
no, it's the same thing.
You said subtle. Okay, I forgot.
Right.
So basically, you're saying
Like-
that he
Like,
just
no,
does the
this
same
time I
shit every
shifted
time.
my weight and
Yeah.
I favored my left foot
I couldn't
when I
find my
delivered
prop,
the line.
so I just
I
went
tilted
for it.
my head to the left this time just to
Yeah.
give off another accent of my character.
That's right.
Yes.
It's about the nuances. No,
It's
man,
about
for real.
it's about the little things.
We love Kenny.
I do.
by
I
the way.
love. He's my cousin. I love my cousin.
You gotta
Kenny.
love your cousin, man.
He's cool. He is really, really cool.
Even if he gets on your nerves.
But that's the thing is that he has always been the guy who was like, "Oh, is there laughing? Are you making fun of me? There's laughing? Okay, that's cool."
That's cool. I tried to make you laugh, and it worked.
Well, I think
That's
that's awesome, though. Like, I don't care
No,
if
he
people
is
laugh
awesome.
at me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you laugh at me because I said something funny, or if I did something stupid, you're laughing at me.
Right.
I got you to make a reaction.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
getting a reaction is the most important freaking thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you don't get a reaction, that means they really hated it.
Yeah.
So
Right, right.
you want to get some type of reaction, even if you trip or do something stupid, and they laugh. Hey, you got a reaction from
What was
it.
the name of that comedian from Boston? Bobcat made a movie about him. And
Man, I can't pull it right now.
yeah, and he was really, really serious. His name was Bob something. And
You know what came to mind?
what?
Hot to Trot.
Hot to Trot.
Do you remember that movie he made?
A little bit.
He had like a talking horse. Back when they're like, you know what? Here's 80 grand, make a movie. He's like, I'm talking horse movie.
That guy actually is really fucking smart.
And then he made that
He
Shakes
is.
the Clown movie, and everybody's like, all right, enough movies for you.
Yeah, you're done making movies.
But he's in one of my
Sit down.
favorite movie series of all time.
Police Academy?
Oh,
yeah. it's
people
funny.
don't talk about Police Academy enough. Police
hilarious.
Academy is amazing.
It is amazing. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
It's an ensemble cast, and they all do well.
Yes.
And it had Michael Winslow, who we all love,
Amazing.
and who we all associate with the Police Academy
Sure.
movies. But you know what?
Spaceball.
Shout out to Michael Winslow for Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Oh,
Oh, he's gonna be in Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Man, it made me have to go back.
yeah.
He was in
Look at that.
Spaceballs too.
Yes, he was.
Jesus.
He was terrific.
The Blips, the Grips, and the Crips.
We must comb the desert.
Wait, what's he making now? He's making something else. Is he making History of the World Part 2?
The
Finally?
Schlots. Is he
Or
really?
he's making Spaceballs 2. He's making something big Part
if he
2.
makes History of the World Part 2,
After all
I'm
these years.
going to go see that like 4 times. Because the reason, you want to start talking about inspirations and why I love comedy.
Yep.
It's Mel Brooks.
Oh, absolutely.
The first movie my dad ever had me watch next to him, one of them, was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But the second one, I know that says a lot about
First
me.
time I ever made love to a woman
I watched
was in the
Pee-wee.
back of a Plymouth Dart. But never mind that.
With a dude.
Hey, that was directed. That was directed by what's his
Pee-wee's
name?
Big Adventure?
Was directed by Tim Burton.
That's
Was it
true.
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
and Danny Elfman did the music.
Danny
for it.
Elfman
No
did
kidding.
the music.
Yep.
But the movie that my dad made me watch when I was a kid, and now I love it. It's my favorite movie, probably one of my top 5. Is High Anxiety.
Oh, High Anxiety was hilarious.
And
What
people
was
don't
that
talk a lot
dude's
about that.
name who ate the bugs? Do you remember the dude who ate the bugs in High Anxiety? Oh. He was in
Was it Harvey Korman? No, it wasn't
No.
Harvey Korman.
It was Harvey Korman he was sitting across from.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Korman
Yeah.
was a dude who was like, "Did you just eat that?"
Yes.
No, I
I
didn't
know
eat
what you're
anything.
just talking about.
He was the dude in Ally McBeal, I think.
Ally McBeal.
Yeah, he ended up being in Ally McBeal. He was like the real neurotic dude who had the remote control for the toilet.
Older dude, right?
Well, he was older then.
Yeah.
But back in the High Anxiety,
I know what you're
he
talking
ate the
about.
bugs. He crawled under the table and shit.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That scene was that scene made me pee my pants.
No,
Not really.
It's one of
I'm
the
not
most,
above peeing my pants,
like
but I
my
didn't really
favorite
pee my
character in the
pants
movie
that time.
was the killer. He was like, I just want to kill him. Please let me kill him. If you let me kill him, I'll kill him for free. Please just let me kill him. That was my favorite dude in that movie.
Yeah, that was
He
funny.
was that movie was great. And then
That movie was terrific.
the song High Anxiety. He's amazing, man. Mel Brooks is amazing.
Seth almost burst into song right
I
now.
did.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm
I
looking
did.
up Mel Brooks' projects coming up. He's got something, an animated movie called Blazing Samurai, which I'm hoping is going to have.
Let's hope.
Please. Right?
Blazing Samurai.
I know, I'm hoping. And it's
God.
animated, so there are no rules in that.
That's
you know?
right.
No, like
You
Seth
can have
Ro-
a baby
Yeah.
say, "Where do white
Whatever.
women at?"
Yes.
like Seth Rogen's making an animated movie, and it is raw.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
about
love-
like food.
Sure.
Did you see that? Did you
No,
see this
but
trailer?
I'm sure it'll be good. It's
Oh,
Seth
it's
Rogen. He does
crazy.
Yeah,
those
I
things.
love Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
too.
me too.
And there's another movie called Spaceballs: The Search for More Money, and it's in
No.
pre-production. They're
The
looking
search
money.
for more money.
Well, who knows what it's going to be called? I think that's a working title,
Right,
but
right.
it does say
Oh,
Spaceballs.
Oh wow,
So if you can prime Rick Moranis out of his retired life,
that's not gonna happen. You could actually get like a lot of guys to play that. But Rick Moranis, Rick Moranis was part of my childhood, man.
Yeah.
He was in my favorite, my like top 5 favorite
Wait,
movies again.
just for 1 second. Let's not leave Blazing Saddles, and let's just say these words. They said you was hung, and they was right.
They was right. We could also say Richard Pryor.
Thank you, Richard Pryor. Man.
Actually, he wrote that scene. He wrote a lot of scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
yeah, you can tell you wrote that line too, because
Oh
that's,
yeah, that's a Richard Pryor line,
all day
isn't it?
long.
It was hung. Sounds like some people say.
Right.
Oh boy. Oh geez.
Yeah, man. Did you grow up watching Richard Pryor stand up?
Yeah, I did. My like I said, my I'm 31 years old, but my parents
Yeah, they put you to work.
they
you
put
know
me
a
to
lot
work.
of stuff.
I know.
Like I listen to a lot of hip hop and stuff because that's my generation. But I mean, I got introduced to Anita Baker. I got introduced to Babyface and all those people and Ohio players, and I knew all those my friends would be like, "What do you like listening to?" Because I listened to what was on the radio with my mom.
Right.
I was like, "Oh, I'm listening to Stevie Wonder," and they're like, "Who's that?" I mean, I'm like 8 years old at the time.
Right.
It's
So,
all
like,
right,
who's
yeah.
that?
So everybody's got to say that at some point, right?
Yeah, so I was like, "You don't know who Stevie Wonder is?" And
Here's
like,
the real question: does Anita Baker have a speech impediment with her S's? Because that sweet, it comes from like the back of her tongue. Or
sweet.
something.
I think that's just
just
from
being
her
sexy.
soul. I
Okay.
think that's just from her
All right.
soul. It just hits her from the soul. She's amazing though.
She is.
She can sing anything. I think she can sing anything, and you would like it. She can sing like
She also used to have the late great Ricky Lawson on the drums. I always nerd out.
her
who played the
instrumentation
drums
was
on everything.
amazing. All of it.
Her band was always bad.
Yeah.
Her band was always bad.
But no, getting back, no, I was a huge Richard Pryor. Actually, I mean, that's one of the reasons why the reason why I love comedy, I want to do it, is Mel Brooks and Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, though.
Hey, Gene Wilder pulled off blackface
I
decently
love Gene
because he
Wilder.
mocked the whole thing.
Gene Wilder is another reason why I love comedy. I mean,
Yeah, Gene Wilder was funny.
I grew up watching a lot of old stuff because of my parents.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein was amazing. Because my dad would watch these movies, and I told him it's your fault that I like this crap.
Yeah.
Like you're the reason why
you
I
turned
like
it on.
Richard Pryor.
It's an obligation for a man to raise a cultivated son. If you would like to raise a cultivated son, you must introduce him to sophisticated comedy.
Yeah,
Like, where the white women at? Stuff like that. You know?
but it was But the thing is that the perfect thing about Richard Pryor is that even though it sounded lowbrow.
Yeah.
It actually was very sophisticated and very classy type. It was actually, at the same time, it was very smart comedy.
Well, he also was a master of the setup and delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody made you wait for it and then served it up to you like that. And man, you're right. Any of that, when you have, I can't imagine a funnier writer's room than the writer's room that's got Richard Pryor in it under the tutelage of Mel Brooks.
Yeah. And Mel said, I wanted Richard Pryor because he was funny. And the thing is, it's really interesting because he actually wanted him to play Black Bart, but the studio didn't want him to be Black Bart. So they got Cleavon Little. And
I think Cleavon Little's a good choice.
oh, he's amazing. He was amazing. He actually ended up being the right choice. But
Yes. Cleavon Little had the physicality to play that role.
I think Richard could have played it pretty well. It would have been a little different.
It would have been different.
It would have been different.
Yeah.
But Richard, the reason why I do some of the jokes I do is because of Richard Pryor.
I think every comedian nowadays
Yeah,
has to say that, right?
Yeah, and every comedian wants to say that. But I used to study him because it was just like when he described him shooting up his wife's car. Mm-hmm. That's not funny. That's not funny. Like shooting up somebody's car, but like his inflection in his voice was like, "I killed her car." It's like,
and the police don't shoot cars.
If you like the show,
And you know you do.
send us some pictures of your movies.
Don't do that. Support the show.
There are 3 ways you can support us.
Number 1, go to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And leave a 5-star rating and review.
It helps with the show metrics and helps us get better placement. Number 2,
Visit our website.
www.breakitdownshow.com.
We've got an Amazon and an eBay link.
Same Amazon, same eBay, you know and love, but they give us a little kickback when you get to their site from ours. And number 3, leave comments about the shows that you like. We want to know what you think, how you feel.
Tell us how to make the show better. We greatly appreciate it.
Now back to the show.
We like boobies.
they shoot people.
Yes.
So I always had like this. And every movie of his I liked, even when it sucked.
Yeah.
I liked it because he made the movie funny.
I know. Yeah, I liked Brewster's
I
Millions.
love
Man,
Brewster's Millions.
all
I
you
love
need-
I like the
too.
toy, yeah.
Yeah. Brewster's Millions is easy too because you didn't need a script. You just needed John Candy.
It was him and John Candy.
and just go do
Yeah.
it. Here's the premise. Freestyle. Let's go.
They didn't need a script.
No.
It was like him and John Candy people don't realize it's like John Candy did not need a script. He could make, oh man, John Candy. My favorite John Candy movie is Who is Harry Crumb?
Yeah.
Movie was funny. To me.
Only thing that could have made Caddyshack better is if you could have got Richard Pryor in that movie.
Yeah, if you could have squeezed him in there somewhere.
Because that would have just been epic.
Just in like a cameo appearance or something.
Something, anything, make him be the priest. I don't care, but get him in that movie.
Because he was the reason why Car Wash was good.
Yeah.
They just snuck him in there for like a scene, and he just he stole the movie.
The whole movie. Yeah.
We're going deep referencing Car Wash.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Man.
Car wash. And
What was the name of the movie where Chris Tucker worked at a car wash?
I don't know.
I don't know you, man. Same time.
Oh, was that the movie with
Charlie Sheen?
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but I know what you're talking
Money-
about. Colt 45. Money Talks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, we're going deep, guys, with this.
We've referenced movies from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s for sure. So we're covering ground.
But you know what? I mean, I think
Would you consider writing a screenplay, man? Is it something you've done?
I actually have a screenplay I wrote like 4 or 5 years ago. And just getting back to the process of writing and trying to create characters, people don't understand how hard that is. To try to create that, you just can't go and just make dialogue. Like, you got to create a story.
There's whole things. I don't know if you heard our show with Jen Grisanti, but she talks about story and the craft of that. And if you're going to write screenplays, and heck, we have Hilliard Guess on the show. Gosh, he's practically a
Hilliard's
you know what?
Hilliard's awesome.
He has been on the show more than anybody else who's not Jon and Pete.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
nephew of Kevin Robinson.
Yeah.
So
Kevin
uncle
Robinson's
of Kevin
the
Robinson.
Yeah.
Uncle of Kevin Robinson. Sorry.
You know what? That
Sorry,
Guest / Robinson family, I love that family.
Yeah, they're nice.
Great. They're great people. Kevin. Kevin's my best friend. So
yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about him. He's a good friend.
Come on, let's say something bad. Let's
talk about Kevin.
Talk about Kevin.
You ever seen his eyes?
That Kevin.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, you did the fish shake. I have an emoticon for that.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's a parenthesis, and then either little or big M, and then parenthesis. And if you want amplitude, you put 3.
Oh, that's an M like this.
You know what? The shit emoji.
What?
The emoji
The
that looks
dookie?
like, the dookie.
Yeah.
It looks like chocolate mousse to me. It
I always
doesn't
think it's
actually
pudding.
look.
I like. Oh, you said
Yeah, it looks like pudding.
It looks delicious. It doesn't look like poop.
Yeah.
It looks like chocolate mousse.
Is that soft serve? I love soft serve.
It looks
Froyo.
like
YOLO on the froyo.
That's still just $1.89 at Costco.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. It's not going to change.
Ooh, I need some boba with your chocolate pudding.
He said boba.
You might as well have some mochi.
He referenced boba.
You might as well have some mochi too, and then
That sounds pretty good.
you've been around
actually.
a lot of Asians.
Hey,
I
they
can
make
tell.
vegan boba?
Yeah, it's all vegan. That comes from animals.
That's
That actually
vegan.
comes from a goat.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's all right. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell
No,
nobody.
I have no idea. I have no
Okay.
idea.
Don't tell nobody.
Is frozen yogurt vegan? Let's ask Siri.
It is vegan.
Is it?
What?
Frozen yogurt is
No.
Now,
No, it's
all
not.
kind
I'm
of people
joking.
in this
I'm
room
joking.
are shaking their
She's
head.
like, hell no. I'm trying to get you in trouble, man.
There's people
I know
not
it's
even in
vegan.
here shaking
I'm trying
their
to
head.
mess you. I'm trying to mess your veganism.
They got
up.
cows that clean those machines. They get their hooves in there and stuff. It's crazy.
Have you seen it? It's like they wear the apron. They stand on this cows stand on their hind
One of
legs,
them
and they
cow
use their
pies.
front legs
Yeah.
to clean the.
And they milk the tree to get the milk out of the tree, the milkweed stuff. And yeah, it's vegan as hell.
Cow pies. Delicious.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but fuck Kevin.
No, Kevin's awesome. But no, but
Kevin
getting
is
like
awesome.
Hilliard, I mean, with the story, it's hard to tell a story, and you have to try to make direction with that too. And it's taken me a long time to write screenplays. But it's funny you mentioned that. Like I my major's radio, television, film. And I love writing screenplays, but they're just time
Both of
consuming.
y'all.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah,
Got that thing.
It's just time.
Where'd you go to
consuming.
school?
Went to San Jose State University,
San
which
Jose
has a
State.
great.
Spartan.
He's a
Yeah,
Spartan.
They have a great.
Who's that Spartan hanging upside down?
It's me. She beat me to it. She beat me to it. I was gonna say that. She stole my line.
She almost did. Her leg, one leg went up in the air.
But yeah, no, I'm an alumni, and that department was great because it was nothing but people who actually have done things in that field, and I think that's the important thing. Sometimes you'll go to schools and most people have done shit. and they're trying to tell you how to write a screenplay or to direct, and they haven't done anything. Like one of my teachers,
You know the old saying, those who can do, those who can't
Teach.
teach at Stanislaus Community College. Radio and film department.
Radio and film. We had a great guy.
AV department.
He did broadcast news 1 and 2, and his job, because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. He's like, make stories. He's like, oh, you have talent, kid. You got talent. Just encouraging you to keep going, because you cannot.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah, you cannot go into a shitty booth where like the equipment is all crap and make a good story, because you don't even know what you're doing yet. So his job was just to say, you're doing it. You're doing it.
I had I was working with my cousin Daryl, who's been a guest engineer on our show and a guest host on our show, and we had a studio in Fairfield called Rhythm City. It was Daryl's studio, and I was his engineer. And I took the concepts of recording class at Solano Community College, and by the time we were done with that class, the field trip for the class was to my work.
That's funny.
I got a B.
I'm not going to even
I
touch
cut class
that
that day.
I'm not going to even touch that one.
Damn.
Come on. I got a B.
I got a B.
Come on, man.
You had the advantage.
No, apparently not.
He's like, I had a C.
Apparently he sucked.
Apparently.
Damn.
No, I didn't get no B.
That's sour
Come on,
grapes
man.
right there.
We got this. One of the three of us is a comedian. It didn't get the joke.
No, I got the joke.
Okay.
I just
It wasn't that good a joke.
no, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, it was funny though. That was a funny ass joke. But
Long setup.
see, with me is I like to destroy funny jokes sometimes. You know, some guys it's like they'll say something funny and then I'll say something stupid back because I know they're trying to be funny.
I like to fart in a church. I like to go in a
Like
church.
in the plate. Like,
And
here you go. There you go.
Deface the church by farting in it.
in the plate. Pete trying to fart in the plate.
Like, don't get me started. Like,
You
if
see
I
why
farted
we
in the
could
church
not
with my
take
mom,
Pete anywhere
if I farted in church with my mom, she would whip my.
with the plate. You would get hit upside the head with the plate.
The
the
thing
plate.
is like when you fart in church, if it's a real church and they have those uncomfortable pews, that's just having a subwoofer under your fart.
Oh yeah,
right.
man.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it shakes the whole pew.
This
And
is
you know
the
those-
voice of experience.
Yeah.
we're hearing
And you
right
know
here.
those pews, they're like they're not nailed down
No,
correctly, so
no,
they move.
They're not right.
So
yeah.
it's reverberating in everybody, so they know you just farted. It's like, what's that? Was that an earthquake?
That
What's
person
that?
could be all the way on the other end of the pew,
Yeah.
and they could be leaning on the armrest.
It's
and
like
the
a tuning-
armrest will shake.
It's like a tuning fork. It's like a tuning fork.
The good news is that it's a lot of surround sound
There's
in a
good,
church
that's
fart.
not the good. Wait, say that again.
The good news is there's a lot of surround sound in a church fart.
That is
You know?
that's the good news.
in
After
the-
a fart in church, Pete's looking for the good news.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you look around, you're like,
You know
Who
when
did
Jesus people come to the door and they ring the doorbell and
Yeah.
you open up the door and you go, "Yeah, can
He's
I
like,
help
I
you?"
farted in
And
the
they
name
say,
of
no.
Jesus.
They say, "Have you heard the good news? Have you ever heard this line, the opening Jesus
Yeah.
line? Have you heard the good news?" No, I haven't, man.
tell me.
Christ died for our sins.
If somebody asks you why you farted in church, you'd be like, I farted in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. But I'm going to say, have you heard the good news? Yeah, I heard the good news. Pete farted in church.
God bless.
Apparently, that was the good news.
Yeah, man. It was surround sound, so no one knows.
That's
And,
right.
It happened over somebody who did, and you just keep on going. It's sort of like farting in a place where just in general no one can acknowledge it. You get off scot free.
It's like at a library.
I remember one time I was in the sixth grade. In the sixth grade, we didn't all have our own desks. Like, we would have a big square table, and there would be like 8 people sitting around the table, and we had like 5 of those in the class. And some were smaller than those. Some had 5 people, some had 8 people, whatever. And I sat on one side, and perpendicular to me, right on the opposite corner, was this dude named Tom. And Tom he was cool, but he was sitting over there, and I was going to try to do the one cheek sneak.
Nice.
You know, you just lift that one.
That never
Because it
works.
was just going to be
That
one of them
never
quiet
works.
ones.
Right.
And it was those, we had those metal frame chairs with the plastic base and the plastic back.
That's like the worst chair you could
want to
fart
talk
in.
about a subwoofer. That
Yeah.
shit just went
It's the
tack,
worst
tack, tack,
chair
tack,
you
tack,
can
tack,
fart
tack,
in.
tack. It was terrible. But the good news is, as soon as I did that, I lifted up a one cheek sneak. I'm just going to sneak it out. I just looked right at Tom and went, ugh. And that just happened as soon as everybody looked up. All
perfect.
anybody knew was that someone farted, and as soon as they looked up, they saw me looking at Tom going, ugh.
Perfect timing.
It was beautiful.
Got away with that one.
I'll give you guys a quick story about the worst fart I ever smelled.
So wait, if it's the worst, that means you know about the other 4 or 5 that were close.
Oh yeah,
Good enough.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Only one
But
can
this
be the
is
champion.
literally the worst fart I ever
Worst
smelled.
fart ever.
I was in college,
Okay.
and it was this really, really hot, like, volleyball player, soccer player. And I seen her around campus, and she was beautiful. We're in the lunch line, and she's walking past me. She smiles at me, and I'm paying for my stuff, and she walked away from me very quickly. I didn't realize this. She farted, and it smelled like baby shit and mulch. It was the worst fart I've ever smelled in my life.
That's a baby cow fart.
No, it was basically.
It smelled like baby shit and mulch.
It smelled. No, it was the worst. And I saw her, and her face was. I looked at her, and she literally got unattractive.
No, you went the wrong way.
You went the wrong way.
You got to say, oh, baby, it's all right. I'll still fuck you.
No,
And then she'll come right on over.
I lost that loving feeling.
Hey, I used to work in this building at 250 Montgomery in San Francisco.
The 250 Montgomery building story.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked on the 7th floor. And I worked in a place where my clients were all on the East Coast. So I would be there at 6 in the morning. And that building had a bunch of international banks in it. So a lot of those banks didn't open until Singapore time or whatever. So it was like some people were showing up for work at 2 in the afternoon.
4 in the morning.
So I remember I would get to work at 6 in the morning, and I would be calling my East Coast clients and stuff. And right around 7:30, I would go right to the elevator, and I would get in the elevator, and I would hit the lobby button. There was nobody else in the building practically. I would go straight down to the lobby. In that same lobby in that building, there was a Jamba Juice. So I would go right down to the lobby, walk into Jamba Juice, get my Jamba Juice or my carrot juice or whatever I wanted, back up to my desk, and be back at my desk in like 5 minutes. So I went over there one day, hit the lobby button, elevator doors closed. As soon as the elevator started moving, I started farting. And man, I was just letting go. And oh, it was such a relief. And then ding, I looked up, I was like, what?
Of course.
Elevator stopped at the 4th floor.
Of course.
The doors opened slowly, and from the opening of the doors emerged a 6-foot Argentinian supermodel in a tight, white, skinny little damn near see-through dress.
She might have liked that.
At 7:30 in the morning. And she got in that elevator, and I was in there by my damn self.
Crying.
And it smelled like shit. Like greasy, open ass.
Some carrot fart from drinking that damn Jamba Juice.
So bad.
Some protein.
And I could
that you
do
had.
or say nothing. Said I was in there by myself.
You just farted a morning protein fart in the elevator. Those are the worst.
Look at that poor woman. And she was, oh man, it was terrible.
She looked down at you like, motherfucker.
So he tells this story to Mick Betancourt, and Mick Betancourt jumps in and goes, "Do you like the smell of champions?"
Hey, I told my girlfriend, I said, I farted and I was like, that's the smell of victory. I did a napalm joke. I did instead of Apocalypse Now.
Or did you say just do you like champions?
That's what he said.
Do you like champions? While she's in there just walking in. Goddamn.
Smell of victory.
Yes.
I love the smell of a fart in the morning. It smells like victory. I love that.
Man.
I love that movie.
I took a shit one time in an Egyptian guardhouse because I had to take a shit so bad I couldn't stand it. We had driven back from the pyramids, and it's like forever to get back. And
How long does it take to get back to the pyramids from like from like civilization?
We were on like in the peninsula, the Sinai Peninsula, doing
okay.
maneuver exercises and stuff. So we would go out. It would take about 3 hours round trip. Wow. So we were about 2 hours
6
in.
hours, man.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, it's all right though. That's what you had to do. So I'm sitting there and I'm sweating and I'm like, oh, because we're not stopping. We're gonna go, and there's nowhere to stop. It's not like a Circle K or anything. So we get to where the gate is for the American compound, and it's going to be another 45 minutes. And I'm going to tell you right now, my butt was like, listen, either you crap right now, because you're going to crap right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's no more waiting.
It was.
I got to go right now.
You gave your ass a non-negotiable.
Yeah, no, he gave it to me. The guy that runs it down there, he's like, "Hey, listen, I can't make this valve, but it's not going to happen. You're going to have to butt cheek squeeze walk. I got nothing for you. I got no guarantees. Man. I've got the button pushed.
You're gonna hold that shit in by your ass.
I think actually he might have been going on lunch. He's like, I got the button pushed to hold it, but I gotta go on break. So you better find a shitter right now. So I did. I went over to the Egyptian guy, and I didn't speak any Arabic at the time at all. I just knew like hammam, which is kind of like the way you say bathroom. And they're like, yeah, come on in. So I go over, and they got like the standard hole in the floor with like the paint pan. Yeah. And so I get over there, and I'm like, the Army's like, we're going to teach you about culture. They don't teach you how to shit like that. They don't. So I'm like, well, I guess I hope I don't. Cause I'm trying to figure out how to squat with that shit back into my pants. Because they're around your ankles, and there's not like a rope to hang on or nothing like that. So I'm trying to get in a position to do it. So finally I get all that figured out, and I took a job of the Hutt. It laid there, and I'm like, now what do I do with it? It's not in the hole. I can't aim in my butthole.
No,
and so it's just sitting there in the paint pan shit hole thing, but not in the hole. And I'm like, do I kick it? Do I? And so I'm like,
stick around I can use?
Yeah, there was no stick. You think, let me find a stick. I'll find a new.
I really don't want to touch my own shit.
I don't. So. Well, I got to get back in the car, and I don't want the car to smell like shit. So I'm looking around, and I'm like, oh, there's some water over there, right? But keep in mind, there is no toilet paper, so I'm riding dirty. I'm riding dirty. Okay, no matter what I do. And so I grabbed a little bit of water that was left, and I look at him like, this water is not going to make Jabba the Hutt mad or care. He's not even going to care. There's like half a cup of water, but this is like an 8-pound shit. So I throw it on it. It laughs at me. Oh. And I'm like, well, I don't know what else I can do because there's literally nothing in there.
You literally made a rhinoceros shit. You really had to
even if I'd shoved the shit into the hole, it wasn't going anywhere. There's nowhere. It's just, there's no water. It's just a hole. And so I would just have a bowl of chili in the floor. So instead it was just a Jabba the Hutt in the dirt pan. And so I looked at it and I thought, God damn, this room's starting to smell because it got shit on the floor, right? Yeah. And I think, well, God damn, you know what? I hate to do it to these guys because it's like a little 4-room house, and one of the rooms is the bathroom. It's a guard shack. Yeah. I'm like, when they come back in, it's Egypt. It's hot as fuck.
They'll be mad as fuck.
They'll be mad as fuck. It's the whole house is going to stink like shit. They don't got a stick to shove it in the hole. And even if they do, it's not going to go anywhere.
It's like, you need to get one of those mini shovels that you can just shovel your shit in.
I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do.
They probably use a hand. That's probably what they do.
Man, I don't know because they had nowhere to wash it off. You can't just go shoving shit with your hand.
That's nasty.
Yeah. I mean, they literally had nothing in there. Like, they had, cots to sleep because it wasn't their place. It was just the guard shack, So
because the most embarrassing thing is, that's a private thing.
Yeah.
You're you don't want people to know what you're doing in the bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Especially if you're making, giant shits.
Yes. Giant shits. Like when you're at work, right? And your work people are there, and you're like, this is going to be half air, half bullets coming out of my ass, and it's going to make a lot of noise, and everybody's going to hear. And there's a decent chance that as they walk by in the hallway, because, the bathroom's got to be in the middle of the fucking room. No, they're going to hear this. And you're like, oh, my God, everybody knows I just shit the world shit out.
You always get that one, and you always get that guy, you get in the bathroom, and they always have that fart, that really loud trumpet fart before they shit out stuff. So it's like...
Yes. And you're like...
I'm like, dude.
Oh, shit.
Dude, you're forcing it. Don't force it. Just let it go. I'm just trying to coach them through it because it gets to the point where you're... you feel for them because you've all been there. It's just...
I feel for them, but if I recognize those are Dave's shoes, I'm be like, Dave... Holy shit, dude. It may not stink. It stinks out here. And it's going to be like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. It's funny as hell, man.
Yeah, we're talking about.
I had to walk away for a minute because I had some business to attend to.
You had to. Okay, this is exactly what we were talking about.
But when I left, I think at the moment that I was leaving, Pete's behind was issuing an ultimatum.
Yeah.
No, and it was the ultimate ultimatum.
Yeah, I decided that the guy that runs my butthole he's a union guy.
Who runs
The union guy, Union 415.
He had a dude with tenure at the switch.
And he's like, hey, listen, it's my break time, so you got a choice to make. You can go shit right now, or you can go shit right now.
I just put your shit on a
got two
countdown.
choices
You got
of what
about
you can do.
10 seconds to shit
Yeah.
before it comes out.
You know, your hand goes out sideways, kind of like Peg Bundy, and you just walk with your butt cheeks squeezed together.
With
You're
your
like,
hand sideways.
Yeah.
And you get that one cramp like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, hold on.
Jesus.
Peg Bundy.
Remember one time me and Pete were doing some work at this place. And we were trying to finish. I didn't want to climb down from whatever I was doing. I was just trying to finish it up. And I waited that 1 second to. Let me just make something clear here. I didn't wait too long,
Okay.
but I waited past that one threshold. You shouldn't wait. You should just go. Mm-hmm. And I waited past that one threshold where you start to go, and then you got to stop walking.
Yep.
And you just got to let it pass. Let it pass.
Yep.
Let it pass. Let it pass.
You do that penguin walk after a
Do
while.
not relax. Yeah.
Do not.
That's why my hand goes out like Peg Bundy.
See, his hand goes out. Yeah. Me, my shoulder goes up
Yeah.
like I'm in a Bob Fosse movie.
No,
I got
my-
wait.
We're all doing our backup singer moves.
My
She's gonna take a shit.
My butt cheeks clench up like I'm in a jail cell.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm not letting this out.
Yeah.
I'm not exposing shit. So
Yeah, nothing going
it's
in,
not
nothing going
happening.
out.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
That's and I walk like my butt cheek like I'm clenched up, and I just gotta like do a waddle and just try to just slowly just relax myself so I don't shit
Yeah.
on myself.
You know what that just reminded me of? What was that movie where Chris Tucker was in jail with Big Worm?
Oh.
He was in a jail cell with Big Worm, and
Right.
Big Worm was like, wait a minute. He was telling the story. Yeah, man. And then the cop put his hands on me. And he was like, did he put his hands on you like this? And he would quit playing, man. Quit playing, man. And he would go back to his story. Wait, did he try to hold you down like this? You guys don't remember that movie? I'm just by myself in here.
I think you're by yourself. No. I think that sounds familiar. Was it Chris Tucker or was it Eddie Murphy? I think you're talking about Life.
No, it wasn't Life.
It wasn't
It wasn't Life? Life was hilarious.
Life was hilarious.
Nice boom, boom, boom. But yeah,
Jangalane.
I was telling the story about the time I shit in the Egyptian guardhouse, and there was nothing to do because there was poo on the floor, and there was no way to get rid of it, and it smelled so bad.
How do we get on poo, guys?
Because it's funny.
How do you find yourself in that situation where, like, hey, there's some poo on the floor? I know. I ain't going to do nothing about it.
I'm gonna tell you something. Anything that if it's not I'm not picking up a grown man's shit. If it's not my own dog shit, I'm not picking it up.
Right.
Like
I hear you.
It grosses me out when I see, and I know what human feces looks like, and it just grosses me out. It's like, dude, why
is there
someone shit on
human?
the
Right.
sidewalk?
We invented plumbing.
Yeah.
Or
some of us
invented
have.
bushes.
Right.
There's something called a bush,
So it's okay to shit in the bush?
Dig a hole.
Oh, sweet.
dude. You know,
Something.
the wilderness,
You know what I mean?
I had to
Do
take
something.
a shit in a parking garage one time.
Sometimes you got to.
When you gotta go, you
Oh,
gotta go.
I couldn't find my car, and I was like, "It's time. It's time right now." And again, I had to ride dirty because I didn't have any toilet paper.
You said I had to ride dirty.
But you know what I get pissed off about? You
I
know,
said again too.
in Santa
Ride
Barbara,
dirty.
we're gonna switch We're gonna switch movements for a second.
Yeah.
In Santa Barbara, you get arrested for pissing on the sidewalk.
Man, you got to register as a sex offender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some
dude,
places.
that's crazy.
I was with a dude who.
So I'm just gonna have to piss on myself.
That's it. That's what you do. You just piss on yourself.
That's
That's
crazy.
Yeah, man. That is crazy. I was with a dude once who got a, ticket for urinating in public because
Yeah.
he peed up, but he went behind a dumpster, behind a 7-Eleven, and he took a piss. Just because that really was like looking around at the time. We were at the top of Springs Road at that 7-Eleven, Springs and
There
Roll.
you go.
And it was like, I had to piss right now. Well, there's a dumpster right there. So go behind the dumpster. That's the logical place to go take
Right.
a piss. He was cited.
You're not
I think he had to
exposing
pay
yourself.
$35 or something.
that's-
But
I mean-
nowadays, what happened was a citation while your junk was out. And so nowadays that
I know how to
requires you
fix that.
register.
You just write yourself a note from your doctor that says whenever you pee, you need to pee, you pee.
I know I'm a
Just show
comedian,
it
but
to
I'm
me.
about to be serious for a second.
Uh-oh.
If you get, maybe not, but if you get, if you become a sex offender for taking a piss on a sidewalk or whatever, that's just what is our like judicial system
No,
doing?
I'll
That's
tell
some
you
dumb
exactly
shit.
what's happening there. I'll tell you
Dumbass
exactly what's
shit.
happening there. Now think about the person who was like, "I'm tough on crime. I'm going to make it so that people got to register as a sex offender." Imagine that, Congressman. You can see him in your head, can't you?
Yeah, I can. Lily White.
That's because
Hey, watch it.
for that guy,
Sorry, he is though.
his
Sorry, I apologize, but he is.
he's probably from West Virginia.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He
Iowa.
is you're right. He is making you register as a sex offender because in his world, sex involves urine.
Oh,
I'm just
Golden
gonna say
shower
that.
is like a.
I'm just gonna say that.
Hey, I agree with you.
Because it would never have dawned on
I
me.
agree
If
with
I'm
you.
a legislator,
Yep.
it would never have dawned on me. Motherfucker was taking a piss.
I'm telling
He's
you.
clearly not a sex offender.
I
He was
gotta-
peeing.
yeah,
That's two different things.
We're under
That's why this
severe
motherfucker
drought.
was like, "Oh no, he was peeing."
That's why I
That
laugh at
makes
those
him a
congressmen
sex
that are
offender.
hard on gay people because
They're gay.
You know they taking it. You know they taking it just like
Yeah.
that gay dude. It's just dude. We know
He
you're
was
gay.
the dude in the Minneapolis airport. Remember that dude? He was like, I can't stand the homosexual
He was
agenda.
getting served.
And he was
He was getting
in the
served.
bathroom tapping feet and
Yeah.
glory holing and shit. Come on, man.
Like, dude,
the gods have a way of doing that stuff. Like that lady who went on buck wild down in LAX and ended up hanging herself like with her own arms. Do you remember this?
no.
Like she got shackled, thrown into like the airport jail, and she was so mad and so crazed, you know, that all this had happened to her. She put herself into a hucklebuck, where like she had her hands wrapped up around the back of her head, and she choked herself to death. Yeah,
We
like
live in
you
a-
were such a pain in the ass, you even killed yourself. That's how much of a pain in the ass you were, and it's tragic.
That's
But
fucked
Jesus,
up.
that's the gods,
You
man.
know
They're
what?
laughing.
The thing is too is it's like you like I have a friend who always talked about gay people and stuff, and
Motherfucker was gay.
no,
Okay, go ahead.
his son ended up being gay.
Oh, see what happens?
His son ended up being gay. His son was gay at like 3 years old, and we could tell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you know that. And one of my friends told him, he was like, dude, you know, he's a little older than me, but he was like, dude, you put that on your fucking self.
That's true.
You talked about gay people so
Don't you
much.
put
and
that
had
evil
it.
on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's my favorite part of that movie. Yeah. That's my favorite part. I hope your sons grow up to be star athletes and they lose their legs. I hope they
Don't you put that evil on me,
I hope
Ricky
they
Bobby.
know how it feels. Don't you dare! I'm gonna take the gloves off, Ricky Bobby. No, he needs to know.
I got a friend who I won't say his name. He wouldn't mind if I said his name though, but I haven't seen him in a while. So when his kids were about 3, he's got twin sons, and when they were about 3, there were a few of us who went to go eat lunch together, and one of the guys we were with was gay, and he asked, "Hey man, how were you when you knew you were gay?" And that dude was like, "Oh, I knew. Always knew. Everybody knew." And he goes, "Okay, all right. Why do you ask?" "Because I got 2 twin sons and one of them's gay." And he was like, "Oh, why?" You know, there was 2 boys. One of them would be doing boy stuff. The other one would be more interested in fashion. You know, it's like, "Ooh, I want a football. Ooh, I want that tutu." It was just like that easy. And he was
Or I
like,
want those skinny jeans.
"Are you are like this is it's the same twin each time, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's already clear that one of my."
But he
twin
wasn't
sons
tripping though about
is-
it.
No, he's not tripping at all.
Yeah, it's a different
Not
time
tripping at
now.
all.
People don't have to trip now.
Yeah, you ain't
know?
got to trip.
But you know, I
Yeah.
have actually have it's really
just
funny.
gotta love that little man.
Hopefully, my I'll just mention my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
who is like, she said, I don't raise any gay, I don't raise no
Oh boy,
homosexuals.
here we go.
All 3 of her kids, her daughter dabbled with girls. I think she's with a dude now, but she dabbled with girls, and her two sons are questionable.
Questionable.
No, one is not questionable. He is what he is. He was gay at like 3 too.
Yeah.
and you knew it, and we're just like, oh, we all know he's gay, and his older brother is also gay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know, you shouldn't talk about. You should like just keep your damn mouth shut.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
It is, but
And
you know
she
what?
bites.
And that's true. But really, what really should go on is people should stop tripping.
Yeah.
No, they should.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't talk about it. No, you should talk about it all you want. Just don't trip. You know what I mean?
My friend's like, I'm afraid they're going to hit on me. I was like, a lot of gay dudes know you're not gay.
Yeah.
They're not going to hit on you, dude. Just
Also,
fucking relax.
don't think you're that attractive.
Exactly. You're
You
not
know what
all
I'm
that,
saying?
dude.
Hey, I know precisely how attractive how I am and am not. And I'll say I know how often I get hit on by ladies. That's as often as I would get hit on by dudes. You know what I'm saying? If like, oh, I'm afraid my buddy's gay, he's going to hit on me. That motherfucker ain't going to hit on me. His sister didn't hit on me.
But you got that. I don't believe all that because you got that smooth, like Guam charm. You know, you got that smooth charm about you.
It don't work
I
that
think-
good, man.
I think Cedric's hitting on you right
I'm gonna
now.
tell you, it don't work that good.
I'm kind of hitting on you
Huh?
right now.
He
Did you
is.
get that?
Oh, see, maybe that's what it is, man.
you don't
I don't
know
pick
it.
up on the vibe.
See, you gotta
Damn.
read between the lines, my
Wait.
friend.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is that your foot under the table?
Mm-hmm, that's his foot, and that's my foot too. man.
Ooh. Now
We're
it's a
having a
party.
foot party.
It ain't gay, but the
It's
three-way.
like it's like
That's true.
It's like a circle jerk. but
Whose
with feet.
joke was that? Somebody told the funniest joke I ever heard. He was like, yeah, I got offered a threesome, but I had to turn it down
One
because
of
it
his
was
country guys.
it was one of those country guys.
Yeah.
He said I got offered a threesome, but I had to turn it down because it was one of them ones with two dudes and me.
Yeah, that would be awkward. Having
Bill Engvall. Oh, yeah.
Bill Engvall is funny. Another guy like is Ron White.
Ron White is
Ron
hilarious.
White is hilarious.
Dude, Rodney Carrington.
Yeah,
Rodney
that's-
Carrington's funny too.
He's funny as hell.
Like I love all comedians, man. Everybody's like, oh, you only like black comedians. I honestly, I hate that stereotype because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for like Sam Kinison and what's his name, Mitch Hedberg, like
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, Mitch Hedberg.
I listened to some George Carlin today.
George
It's an
Carlin's
old bit
hilarious,
I've heard
dude.
100 times, and it's always awesome.
Always awesome. He's the legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the legend.
well, him and Pryor made it okay to be yourself.
Yep,
and
they didn't trip.
and be
See what happens when you
unadulterated.
don't trip out
Yeah.
there, people? The other person that I really, really liked who was taken away from us too early was Greg Giraldo.
oh man,
He
you know
is my
what?
man, my favorite of any of those comedians that ever showed up on a
The
roast.
thing about him is that he knew it was comedy
Yeah.
and he understood it, and I never thought he would be a person to take his life
Yeah.
because it's the way he kind of was. He seemed really
He
at
saw the
ease.
world as, yeah, I thought so, you know.
That's what you think.
Yeah, what do we know?
It's like what do we know is in someone's head? Especially like what I've learned too is that comedians are miserable people.
Are you miserable, man?
No, I think I've been through a
So
lot
what
of
do you
things.
think? See, that's the thing is that I don't think I'm miserable either.
No.
I've been through my share of adversity.
Yeah.
And I definitely have a resilience that came from that adversity.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't consider myself to be miserable.
Well,
I think I'm relatively funny.
I'll give you
Jay Moore's not miserable.
No, he's a personable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you know what the thing is that I feel like you
Ellis is not miserable.
No, he's not.
You know, I know a couple comedians.
We got to
aren't
introduce you to Ellis Rodriguez.
I would
man.
love
You
to.
guys are the same kind of funny.
miserable. The thing is that the comedians that I hang around,
Mm-hmm.
I deliberately hang around them because they're normal, and they don't take comedy super seriously to the point where it's like-
painful.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Like I know some guys, they get on stage and their like personality comes out and it's like, oh, he's probably a cool guy, and then you try to talk to him and it's like trying to pull teeth to talk to this guy.
Yep.
It's like, dude, get your head just it's okay, just loosen up. Shit. Just imagine that you're on stage with me and we're talking on stage with a whole bunch of people. I had to tell this one guy that, and from that, like, he loosened up a bit. But it was like, you gotta like coax these dudes. Like, they are miserable. Some of them are very miserable cats.
Yep.
I'm not. I just been through a lot of shit, and I've seen a lot of shit, and I have real stories that I mold into an act. that's me. You know, I get base material from real life shit that I've experienced that has made me say, damn, this shit's fucked up. This world is
Yes,
these
it
people
is.
fucked up. What's going on? What are we doing?
You know what I'll say to that? Sedric Drake, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey man, it was my pleasure. Anytime.
Right
We'll
on,
do
man.
it.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.